on history up close and personal, we'll be going back to early 19th century Europe and see how government used anti-Semitism and nationalism as political tools. First off, Russia, year 1895.
Nicholas has groups of citizens and soldiers attack Jewish people in the ghettos he forces them to live in. These attacks are called pogroms.
Like most leaders, Nicholas also used Jews as scapegoats for government problems, such as economic decline. In fact, I believe that's Nicholas now discussing pogroms with his mother.
My son, with all this fighting you endorse, aren't you afraid you're going to harm an innocent Christian assailant when the armies actually decide to stop a pogrom?
Mother, I will tell you what I told my soldiers. Never fire upon a Christian to protect a Jew.
Behind this wall, there's a secret government meeting discussing the pardoning of the ex-captain and currently exiled, Alfred Dreyfus.
I don't care if Dreyfus is innocent. A Jew should not be in a group where he does not belong.
Journalist Emile Zola has figured out the game. He has proven Dreyfus' innocence and has already published his story. We must pardon Dreyfus or our government will never be trusted again.
Why should we pardon him? We have gone this far. It was our brethren who planted the papers and framed Dreyfus for being a German spy.
Exactly. Our brethren, not us. And unless we want these riots and family feuds to continue, we must pardon Dreyfus.
And the government did pardon Dreyfus. But although this scandal did not stop anti-Semitism in France, it did cause the French to create a more secular schooling system.
In Germany, the agrarian elites were high powers in the government. But as their agriculture declined, so did their prestige. The Hungarians needed a scapegoat, and they chose the Jews. Because of Hungarian influence, William II not only encouraged anti-Semitism in his corridors, but also in the streets.
Have you heard what they said about us now? The Jews have created another drop in stocks.
That is absurd! How do they think we can manufacture such jobs? They are mistaken as all of them! Here in Austria-Hungary, as an ethnic group's power grew, so did its dislike for other ethnic groups. The two ethnic groups that grew power faster than the others were the Czechs and the Hungarians. This angered the other Slavic groups, but the Jews did not become a factor in this until politicians linked growing Czech and Hungarian power to the Jewish people.
My fellow Austrians, we are not to blame for the constant bickering between the Slavs and Czechs. But whose fault is it, you might ask? Why, it's none other than those crafty Jews. The Jews have manipulated the government to give more power to the Czechs and Hungarians, and those other foolish ethnicities fell for it, like fish to bait. But we Austrians are smarter than them, and know that if there's anyone to blame, it is the Jews.
The Jewish people had different responses for anti-Semitism. The first few were moving out of Jewish neighborhoods, marrying Christians, and even converting to Christianity. Another was migration to other countries, such as the United States, in response to pogroms and economic change. Among all this, anti-Semitism and continued persecution, a spirit of Jewish nationalism arose. From this nationalism, Theodor Herzl called for the creation of a Jewish nation-state, a goal now known as Zionism. However, the prosperous Jews thought his idea was mad, and although he created the Zionist Congress in 1897 and influenced 85,000 Jews to move to Palestine, the Jewish state would not be created until after the devastation of World War II. That's it for today's episode. Bonnie, we gotta get back to the future! Bonnie, you gotta let the car on!